well, I stopped videoing for a bit because I couldn't find where this place is, and I ended up having to climb out of a sound wash sort of, I don't know, there's just a big hill I decided to come out of, come back to the road, and I had to basically go all the way back to the same place that I came in on. Everybody's been waiting to find a place to go, then the place just gets overpopulated and it gets ruined because the people that found it might not even necessarily want to do what it's recreationally for. They just stumble across this place that's empty and kind of barren, and they start dumping crap there. But if they established a place that said, hey, this is where you can go off-roading, this is where you can go shooting, well, then there'd be people there off-roading and shooting there. And oh, there's a vehicle out here that wasn't here before. I wonder if they're looking for the same place I am. Is this the shooting range? I did drive right past it. Oh, okay. I guess somebody's just using it to camp. So, alright. Well, at least I know where it's at. If your truck hadn't been parked there, I would have never found the shooting range. It's okay, it won't hurt this truck. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to find one just to shoot a couple rounds before it gets dark. And I drove right past this one, so nobody's policing their brass, I take it. You're doing what I do. I end up with just buckets of that stuff and give it to people to make little art and stuff with it. So, all right, well, I'll go find one of the other ones and leave you be. All right. Well, there was a guy there picking up brass, because I guess people don't bother policing their brass. I do. doesn't make me any better than anybody else. But I also like picking up the stuff so I can make a little project and stuff out of it. But got a feeling that's the only one. He just wanted to stick to picking up all the stuff he could find. So at least I know where it's at. I'm probably going to have to come tomorrow because I got literally, let's see, I've got 15 minutes before the sun goes down over the hill that is on my horizon from where I'm at. So I did find it, and if that guy hadn't have been there in his truck, I wouldn't have found it. So even though he wants to hog up the place just to pick up brass, that's fine, because I wouldn't have found it if he hadn't. So see how it works. I give up. I say hell with it, and I get what I want. So now I'm gonna go toodle around. It's funny, one of the Instagram people I follow, Joshua Tree Off-Road, I think he's got 2 or 3 XJs now. He had one that was a project, one was his main vehicle, and then I think he's talking about another one that I think he just got, that had been sitting for 6 years and had 160,000 miles on it. He's out wheeling it without any problems. Well, one of his little video blogs that he has is he's saying half of the fun of taking someone out off-roading in your own Jeep is explaining all the weird noises that your Jeep makes when you're off-roading. And the few times I've had people in my Jeep, they didn't know anything about cars, so all the noises they heard they thought were normal, and I didn't have to explain anything. But when you take a person who has any other 4x than a Jeep Cherokee, Jeep Cherokees just make weird noises, even when everything is pretty much solid. Whoa! Mine, the coil springs on the front, they just kind of find their own places to be, even though, let's see where we're going. Probably should have put it in 4 low for that. So I saw this place before, but it's got a bunch of tracks. I mean, like, it literally like a little dirt track. So I wouldn't want to go shooting here because somebody come flying over the hill, but people have been shooting here. There's part of an RV refrigerator. I don't see where they've been shooting from, but there's definitely like a little, man, I cannot see where I'm going. I gotta do a zigzag just so I can get up this hill because the sun is right in my eyes. Anyways, get back to what I was saying was, yeah, my Jeep, there's a couple noises that I do want to get resolved. My upper controlling bushings, the ones that are actually pressed into the axle housing, they need to be replaced, but they're not going anywhere. They're completely captured. But my coil springs in the front, my tires, I don't like doing these positive offset wheels. I want the wheels and tires to be under the body, inside the fenders. I don't want rocks flying up and hitting the back of my arm, and I don't want, every time I drive through a water if I've ever actually... I've never waxed this truck ever since I've owned it. And I don't know if anybody did before that. I think I've washed it, maybe actually washed it about 4 or 5 times, just because it was so covered with mud. It was literally getting bad gas mileage. So, but I don't have offset rims or wheels on any of my vehicles. I might even have negative offset on this one. So my when my front axle articulates, when the left wheel's up, right wheel's down, or vice versa, my tires actually hit my coil springs at the top of the coil bucket. So it makes, just makes some interesting noises. Sounds like a Clockwork Orange going on. So, but yeah, it's funny because out of all the 4-wheel drives I've ever had, this one makes the most noises and sounds, but does everything consistently well without being just a crazy hardcore mud bogger or swamp buggy or rock crawler. It doesn't do any specific thing like amazingly. Like, I've rock crawled a little bit with it, but it's not a rock crawler. I've gone through mud, and it doesn't like mud, but it goes through it. And I can do some high-speed stuff when I'm not completely freaking blind, which I am now. So I'm turning around so you guys can actually see something, and I can stop looking at all the modes of my 4-wheel drive on the back of my visor. And it's just funny because I've had a Toyota that it wasn't just a dedicated rock crawler because it was street legal, but it was pretty much a dedicated rock crawler that just happened to be street legal. And it didn't make any of the noises this thing makes unless something broke. And I broke a Burfield in it. I broke an axle. I sheared off some lug nuts on one of my rear wheels using a wheel spacer, which is another reason I don't use offsets. I just like the stock wheel with the stock width axles, or wider than stock axles with negative offset rims, so that the wheels still come in behind and under the leading edge of the fender. Whether it's got fender flares or extra whatever, I just don't want the tires sticking out further than the body. I know people have had their windows broken out from driving behind a vehicle that came off of a dirt road onto the pavement and throwing up rocks, and I've been hit in the back of the arm with a rock. My Toyota had 37-inch tires on it, and I didn't have any fender flares, but it was a 4-wheel drive to begin with and had 4-wheel drive fenders in the front, and I had to cut them out to fit the tires, because the other thing is I don't like lifts. Whoa, that's a cliff. I don't like lifting vehicles either. This truck has like probably a 3-inch lift that somebody put on it before me, and it's probably sagged down to I'd say it's probably sagged down to 1.5 inches or maybe 2 inches. And I've had 37-inch tires on this, but it just was too vague, and it didn't have enough room for the articulation, and it didn't perform well. I put 35s on it in the summertime, because the 35s I happened to have were a hard compound tire, and then the soft compound tires I happen to have were 33s. So I'm gonna end this video pretty soon here because it's just gonna get dark on me, and I'm just playing. But I've had 33s on it. Past 3 sets of tires I've had have been 33s, and it just works good this way. And what's crazy is because it's already been clearanced to technically run and off-road with 37s. The hell is all this shit? Pardon my language. What is this? Oh, well, let's see if I have some video left on here, because I found weird stuff.